Hello, everybody, and welcome in. We are so excited to share with you more information about our upcoming Egypt retreat. We have our entire guides here for you. We have, of course, Sandy Reevy, we have Zephy Davy, we have Mahmoud Marai, and we are so excited because we are going to share with you all the ins and outs for this upcoming retreat. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to all three. Sandy Reevy, say hi.
Hi, I want to give dates also.
Okay.
The dates,
And
oh yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go.
The dates are October 9th through the 19th of 2024.
Awesome. And Zephy Davy
Hello, everyone.
and Mahmoud Marai.
Assalamu alaikum from Cairo. We're waiting for
Woo-hoo!
everyone.
That is awesome. Coming to us from Cairo. Zephy's coming to us from Greece. We are so excited for this upcoming retreat. So I want to start off a little bit. Sandy just gave us our dates, which are very crucial. So we would love to have you come if you are available during that time. I want to talk a little bit about, Sandy, how did you get to meet Zephy and Mahmoud?
Well, I've known Zephy for, I don't know, a dozen years from some of the astrology conferences around. And then when I started going to Sedona and working with her for Women Arising, that she's been hosting for years in the States. And now she has her own podcast, Women Arising. But we've been more connected now that I've been going to Greece a lot. And so when we did, and Mahmoud was there last time I was in Greece, and she introduced us, and it was like, ding, you know what? You two, and you can talk about that, have been going to Egypt multiple times a year on tours, right? Zephy, you use Mahmoud. And so the fact that we got to group together that at the bottom of Poseidon's temple was kind of like a burst of like influence, or you guys were influencing me and inspiring me to then turn my head and say, I want to host a retreat in Egypt. I've never been. And I can't tell you, the more information I'm getting, the more books I'm reading, the more audio things, the more documentaries I'm reading, the more things about the deities and how that and as an astrologer, how that they only use the sun. The Egyptians only use the sun in their their solar astrology. So I'll be looking at all of that for all of the participants. But that's kind of how it started, right? Because they're like, Zephy goes and Mahmoud go, oh my God, this is old hat. We do this all the time. So I'm
So
really a
quick.
newbie. I'm the newbie here. I've never been.
Right.
So I was
Right.
like, if I've never been, there might be other people that want to go for the first time. I would imagine that usually I scout all my things first, but I'm imagining that I can enjoy the newness with new eyes, just like some of the participants that have never been there before.
Right. So I want to ask Zephy and Mahmoud, how did you two first meet and how did you get involved in these Egypt tours?
Well, I have a very dear friend, which is also a very good friend of Mahmoud, that they live in Siwa. And they've been telling me about Mahmoud for the past few years, that I should meet this guy, I should meet this guy. And he's a great guide and he does all this incredible, I call him what's his name? I forgot the name of Egypt. The guy that does all the American movie, that he goes and research and does all these things. Oh,
Indiana
God.
Jones.
Indiana Jones, that's it.
Oh, yeah. You should have just said a bullwhip. He has a bullwhip.
Or something. The one who goes to all the different places. So he's the Indiana Jones. I've been calling him the Indiana Jones of Egypt, and I don't believe I forgot the name. I'm sorry. I've been traveling a lot and finally settling down. I've been gone for 3 months straight, so I'm finally home today. So anyway, we just got together one day. We were ready to actually leave 2 days later. And we were out there with a couple other friends of mine because we weren't there for my birthday. And Mahmoud said, you guys want to come tomorrow? and let's experience this part of Egypt, you know, like getting on the boat, like we're going to be doing, and traveling through all the temples. And we're like, yeah, why not? So in one, you know, with one drink, or actually it was tea. It wasn't, because we don't, you know, we don't drink. It was like probably club soda or something. We decided to make this trip at 11 o'clock at night because he lives a little far away, and he made it a little bit later of what we thought. And the next morning we left at 6 or 7 in the morning, and we experienced this incredible trip, a different way of us seeing Egypt before. So, you know, because I've been to Egypt by myself a couple times, and I have taken people, but in a different way this time. It was just the most incredible experience. So I know Mahmoud is one of the best explorers of Egypt. He knows Egypt very well. He knows the desert amazingly well, because he's really a desert guy. And you do find treasures when you go with him. That's the best thing I can say about Mahmoud.
Oh, that was a good intro. So Mahmoud, tell us a little bit about your experience and how long have you been doing this? Tell us a little bit about what you love about it.
Well, thank you, Zephy, for this amazing sentiments and words. We did have an amazing experiences throughout. It's always a pleasure also to travel with Zephy, because he always throws at me things that pushes me to the limits in a way, you know, go beyond what we normally do. And so it's incredible, actually. And through her also visionaries, we do every time something not totally different. Some things are different than before. So it's like always a new experience, even for us. So the thing is that I'm a traveler. I've been traveling since I was 16, which is quite unusual in our culture, by the way. And I've given up a lot of my time and my effort and my energy, even my career, all across the Sahara of Egypt, Sudan, Libya, Niger, Algeria, you know, and I'm still exploring that part, you know. And so I love traveling, I love adventure. And when I first met Zephy, and I was really innocent, you know, I was innocent back then, Zephy opened actually a whole new perspective to me about temples and energies and stuff. And from that on, life is not the same, you know. And I've always felt that Egypt has something, I think, in guided. Now I'm seeing, I'm learning a lot more, and I'm so happy that Sandy is going to be with us, because they're going to learn even something more new. So it's like, wow, this is mind blowing. And this is why I do these things for. I'm not commercial, you know. I don't do tours like the mainstream 40, 50 people and do the same thing every time. Never. First, I do it because for the experience. I love to see and learn from the people who are, and as much as they will learn from me and from my country. So it's a all win-win situation. It's like a whole holistic experience, you know. So I'm very much looking forward to be with Sandy and Zephy and see what comes up from this, because every trip, trust me, every trip something unique, super unique happens, you know. And this is why I keep doing this, you know. My aim is to meet people like Sandy, like Zephy, and, you know, all the other people I'm meeting. So I'm really looking forward to have that trip with both of them.
Awesome. So I know we have a little bit of some static from Mahmoud, but I got most of it, and I hope that was translated to throughout that kind of jumbled part. But I want to give a quick underlying and say everything that we've heard about Mahmoud was, and also meeting him in Greece when we were there at Poseidon's temple, was so spectacular. His warmth, and I'll talk to you directly, your warmth and your presence and your openness is so wonderful. And it's like it's a big hug. So I'm excited for all attendees to join in on this amazing trip, because really you're going to be in great hands. And speaking a little bit about being in great hands, I want to talk a little bit about the logistics. How will the attendees get around? What should they be experiencing or expecting when it comes to their overnight stays, the itinerary, those types of things, maybe a little bit of the safety and logistics of the retreat. I want to know a little bit more about that. And who can start?
I want to just say something that on the website, intentionbeads.com /retreats/Egypt, Mahmoud has put our itinerary together. He just literally emailed it over because he has it already arranged. I gave him some things that I wanted to do. Zephy, you were helping me with that. Things I wanted to do, like, spending nights on the Nile River in the boat, the going on a hot air balloon ride I've never been on before. And I know I've got one woman who's never been on one before, and that's mainly one of the reasons she's coming, especially over the temples or over the desert.
Wow.
And then spending one night in the desert on our last night, that will be, in the desert, sky forward, just sky over our heads, is where I like to live. And so he put it all together, so it's all there. But yeah, I think that's a great idea to talk about some of the temples or your favorite temples. I know that I'm Isis. I was born during Isis period, so I'm very excited to go to her temple, right? Tell me something about Isis's temple. Is that Fildi?
File. But go ahead, Mahmoud.
So should I go with Alex? What she wanted? She prompted for the logistics and stuff, and the safety and things. So before we start going on the temples and the tour itself. So in general, the moment anyone will set foot in Egypt, we will be there. So from the airport, we will have one of our friends who's going to be meeting and assisting everyone through customs and through the luggage and everything. And then they go outside of the airport, they will find either me or somebody from our team taking them to the hotel before the retreat. We will do any organization needs to be done for the overnights and for the nights before the retreat. So that's and from that moment we are together. So the best thing in our tours as well, which we designed it, is that we do everything privately. So we have a private shuttle for us. We will have a private boat for us. We will have so we own the time. We do what we want when we want to do it. And we try to, of course, to avoid all the mainstream itinerary and timing. So we will have some sort of creating a parallel universe. And then in terms of luggage, I certainly do hope not many people will not have too many luggage, but it's okay. We will buy 4 or 5 slaves to carry them, so that's fine. It's not a no. We'll have people to help us, of course, with the luggage, so don't worry. And and make sure that, of course, we will have time for to do some shopping, and then we will talk about these opportunities where we can do some shopping. But the thing is that from the moment all our guests arrive in Egypt, we are all together. So we will be as a unit, as a team, and I want hopefully everyone comes with an amazing positive energy, positive vibes, openness, because Egypt is different. Egypt is not Greece, Egypt is not the US, Egypt is not Mexico. Egypt is something totally different. So this is a whole new experience for everyone, and I'm sure that it's particularly very safe, and I'm sure that everything is going to go fine, but it might go slightly different than how you are used to. And that's okay, because it's all part of the experience. So if there are any more things that you need me to respond to, I'm open for it.
I'd like to add something to this, if that's okay. Just because I know Egypt in a way, Mahmoud is an amazing of what he does, but also Egypt brings you the energy of you just kind of need to flow with it, because we can be very close-minded when it comes to Egypt. You know, we get information. I download things as we're going. Like I can tell Mahmoud, oh, I just heard that this temple exists. Can we go there? Which I've done it to him plenty of times. And if it's place for us to go, he will make it possible. If it's right there, like the other day, I said to him, you know, there's a temple of Isis in Luxor I never heard of, but I feel it. Can we do it? All the caves that we're going to go in, I heard about them, and we decided to put it part of the. So Egypt does that to you. You know, it brings information. And of course, I would download information for everybody in the trip. That would be my job there. But also just know, go with the flow, because you're in good hands. You really, we know Egypt like the back of our hand, you know, and not as much as me, but Mahmoud. And I trust him with my life. So.
Right. And with the two of you combined, we are in wonderful hands. So I do have another
ride.
And I do have another question. So a little bit about, like, because Mahmoud, you mentioned the cultural difference, and this isn't Mexico, this isn't the US, this isn't somewhere that we normally go to as like a normal vacation spot. But is there something that we can tell our attendees or possible attendees that might help with the cultural difference? You know, is there different things that we can wear? Is there different behaviors that we can show in order to, one, be respectful to the country and the culture and traditions, but also to make sure that we're kind of blending in, that we're not like these like sore thumb tourists that are obvious.
Good question.
Yeah. So generally we will it really depends. Egypt is like every other country in the terms of how open it is and how people are hospitable and funny, and they are kind of very welcoming to tourists. So they tend to and try to know where they're from and maybe take a picture with them, because sometimes they haven't seen blonde girls or something. So it's all very in happy happenings, you know. But the thing is that in terms of clothing, for example, it definitely, when we're walking in the streets or going into a temple, any revealing or excessive revealing of the body will not be really taken in a way slightly. So it's very nice to have like dresses. I know people go, normally with even bikinis, like tops and stuff and stomachs, and that's fine. But I would say, in order for us to have like less low profile and less attention from unwanted attention, it's nice to be like in a way not totally covered, but just not excessively revealing. This is one thing. The other thing is for us, as long as we are going to be together, with my friend who's will be our guide, the tourist, the person who will be talking about the temples, was another amazing person as well. His name is Osama. We will be together, like in a way, opening tunnels for you, like opening passages for you, so you don't have to really interact with unwanted people, But otherwise, I wouldn't really scare you of anything. People here are really chilled, really talkative, really very friendly, sometimes too friendly, But yeah, and of course, when we are on the boat, when we are traveling alone and together, it's totally very open. But I have to say that throughout what we have done, we have never felt, or I haven't felt any comment from anyone that they felt restricted in a way. Never. This never happened, and it's gonna stay like this. And I think when the time comes, it's gonna be October. It's gonna be like not really still cold. So like light dresses will be fantastic for this kind of weather, and it will be such an amazing weather for this kind of retreat.
Beautiful. So some modest dressing, normal travelers, cautionary eye, like be friendly, but also be a little bit more on the reserve side. You don't need to give out your social security numbers or anything
No.
like that. So,
No.
so yeah, like normal, like just, be aware, be cautious. And also
Yeah.
it's going to be so wonderful that we have a team, that we have a unit, that we're all together, that we feel encapsulated, we feel cared for, and together.
Totally,
And
totally, totally. Mhm.
And to say something about Osama, he's an amazing archaeologist. He knows his craft really well. But he's also very spiritual, because, you can get archaeologists that are very kind of square and they don't really open to spirit. You can talk to him about everything, like from crystals all the way to why the sign is there. Does it have a different meaning than the one the book's saying, because that is the focus of the trip. It's not to be like a tourist and you have 1, 2, 3 that everybody gets. We go deeper. That is the thing of our gifts. And what Mahmoud was saying, what they say, they open the doors. They open the doors for us, so we don't have to worry about, oh my God, if we're gonna do this, is it gonna be wrong? Or if is it gonna be this, is gonna be, if we touch a stone, maybe we get yelled at. But so we have to be careful in that way, but they're going to open the doors and take care of what they need to take care of for us. So we can just be free as much as we can in any temple to be ourselves.
Absolutely. And those are the ways that we love to travel, because we don't have to figure out how are we going to get to point A to point B. We just know that it's going to happen for us, and we're just along for the ride, checking out the views, noticing and experiencing such a different culture. So exciting.
And being our own priestesses, right? And feeling that love and honor as we return it. And that's one of the things when I met Mahmoud. Incredibly welcoming, not over push, not pushy, not too talkative. He listens, he receives, and then like we just watched him do, he receives and then he replies, right? It's this beautiful, like this, like the feminine and the masculine that we all have, right? We all have that, and that's what I experienced, and that was kind of immediate love right there for me when we experienced that for just about a half hour maybe. But what I love is, some of us are going in early, so yes, that's an option. Of course, that's going to be extra cost, but he's going to take care of that for us. And then I know that the cost of the retreat includes everything except your if there's
shopping time.
Shopping or extra drinks or anything extra that's not included with the meals. But the fact that we start in Cairo, and then we fly, we do an inner Egyptian flight that you've arranged for us, that's all included, to Aswan, and then we do some more temples down there, some more sightseeing, and then we get on the boat. And that for me is, as a Pisces, really important for me. And that's kind of where, for anyone that's been on any of my astrology retreats for the last 9 years that I've been hosting international retreats, we always have a classroom. I have a screen, I have a projector, I have slides, I have handouts. I am teaching astrology in your natal chart, whatever the subject matter or planet is. This is different. We will not have a classroom. This entire trip is the classroom, right? Everywhere we go, we'll be learning things. There will be handouts. Zeffie's going to have a few handouts. I'm going to have some handouts. As I said, I'll be looking at your Egyptian astrology. We'll be talking about that on some of the evenings while we're traveling up the Nile. So we will have discussion time. We will have interconnected time to have meditation, discussion, stretching, yoga, whatever we choose to do. But there is not going to be a teaching room. It's a teaching journey. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to mention I'll be teaching is also a little bit of astrocartology. So, I've not taught that, but because we're moving, like in Bali, we do day trips and come back to center, day trip back to center. Some of the other retreats I do, we stay on property, right? This one will be moving, and I know miles, is that like 500 miles will be moving? I know where Americans are miles, not meters.
Kilometers. It's 1,000 kilometers or something like that. It's 2.2.
Of where we're going to be traveling, like from Cairo to Aswan and then back up to Cairo. Is that like what's the distance? I thought it was 500 miles ish.
So I wanna point out that Alex and Sandy, and of course Zefi knows, but you guys you realize that these trips is a journey. I love what Sandy just said. The whole experience is the classroom. Egypt is entirety is the classroom, and this is like I even didn't think of this before, because Egypt has so much to offer, like seriously. And the reason why, for example, what we do is that we include everything in the price, so you don't have to worry about anything. And also, as Alex said, do not worry about where to go from A to B. No, you not worry. All I'm trying to do for everyone there is to have the full experience, protected, safe, and also focusing on her inside and her mission and her journey in Egypt. So, and I'm really happy that I can provide this to my guests, because it changes everything. It doesn't make anybody worry. And at the same time, we get all this support from you, because we love this support, and as Zefi said, go with the flow, because sometimes I get a phone call and somebody would tell me, hey, I can open a temple for you tonight. Would you like to go? Things like this can happen, so it depends on how open you are. This is true. I don't know how, so it's a whole journey, and coming to the traveling side, yes, we are taking a domestic flight from Cairo to Aswan, which is the most southern point of our travel. And then we're going backwards through Egypt by land. So the first part, we're going to from Aswan to Luxor by boat, which is going to take 3 nights, I think. Depending on our so 3 nights on the boat. Luxor to Aswan to back, possible transportation mode. You can be open to that.
Yes, it's gonna be wonderful. Just towards the end, the connection was going so well. Just towards the end, it started cutting off a little bit.
Drive from Luxor to Cairo, I think yeah. So where did you lose me?
We just talked when you just started talking about the trip that we're going to fly to Aswan, go travel by land back up.
From Luxor.
Okay,
from Luxor.
So yes, so we are traveling by domestic flight from Cairo to Aswan, which is the southern point, or at the southern cities in our travel, and then we're going to go back north from Aswan to Cairo by land. The first few days, we're going to take the boat from Aswan to Luxor, which is about 3 or 4 nights. And then we'll be visiting all the temples along the Nile on the way. And then in Luxor, we're going to have the overnight, we're going to have the balloon, air balloon, and all that. And then travel by car from Luxor to Cairo. This is about 500 miles, but we're going to do it on 2 days because we're stopping at Abydos in the middle. And then the next day, we're continuing from Abydos to Cairo. So that's basically how it is. So we will have so much traveling to do. And especially, we will try every possible transportation mode you can think of in this trip. So be prepared.
Oh, awesome. So awesome. And I mean, the Indiana Jones vibes are definitely coming through right now. So it's going to be so much fun. So I want to.
The actor, and that's why I couldn't remember. I was trying to remember
Oh,
the actor.
Harrison Ford. Yeah.
That's why I couldn't.
For sure. And so I wanted to kind of wrap up, unless there's, any like specific things that the three of you would like to add. The one question that I want to end with is, like, what do you hope, or, in your experience, what have attendees really taken away from this retreat? Like, because Sandy, I know you haven't done this trip before. So what do you hope that attendees will take away? And then Zefi and Mahmoud, what have people taken away in the past that you are just so proud of?
Well, I'll start first because I hope to take away the majestic horizon of understanding why the Egyptians built pyramids to rise closer to the universe, higher to God, higher to the higher power. And that was their incredible dedication, their entire lifetime, to understand their brilliance, to understand their knowledge of what's possible for human beings. That's just, 4,600 years ago. We are now going back into the oldest part of the world. That is the Giza pyramids are the oldest, the only standing of the 7 ancient wonders of the world. It's like, how can my eyes contain what this entirety all means? It kind of blows my mind. So, kind of awe. I'd like to come away with, like, no words. Awe.
Beautiful. And Zefi?
Well, first of all, a lot of people leave with a bigger suitcase or the bicycle.
Believable.
It's really the truth there, because we have so much fun, really also enjoying the shopping and everything else. But in the spiritual aspect, people really come with a big gift to get to know parts of themselves, and it awakes parts of themselves and the memory of maybe a previous lifetime there, or maybe just a knowingness that, oh my God, I've been here before. Maybe not, not we have too many Cleopatras, so it's not that everybody's a Cleopatra or everybody, but what I'm saying is, it's just a connection. You feel the connection everywhere you go. And a lot of people say, I felt connected to this and to that and to that and to that. And, the spiritual path is about really feeling that connection no matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you eating, or if you on the boat, or if you on the temple, or you're speaking to the kids on the street, or you're shopping. The whole thing is your spiritual self. So that is the experience. It's not just, oh, I got to go meditate, all day long to become spiritual. No, you have to live. That is what spirituality is about. We have to live. And in Egypt, we do live. We have a great time from the morning we wake up. Like, I'm going to be teaching meditation, and every time we go to a temple, I will download the energies and do all that stuff for everybody. So that way we just have a full experience.
Mahmoud?
Yeah, so I love what Zefi and Sandy said. So building up on that, So what Sandy said, the magnificence of these monuments. We have an Arab proverb that says, man fear time, time fear the pyramids. This is how magnificent these monuments are. It's a beginning of everything. And building on what Zefi said, it's remembrance. People do come and remember, people do come and become connected. And then I find trouble to drive them back to the airport to leave, you know. But no, but the most important thing is that, like Zefi concluded there, it's an entirety of an experience. It's a life-changing experience. And whatever and wherever anybody has come to Egypt, Egypt will take you by surprise. Egypt will add to you so much to you that it will become really of traveling in terms of meeting people, knowing the culture. So we're really looking forward for this, and yeah, and then we will we're really looking forward.
Right. I just want to say we're looking for a few more people, a few more beautiful, beautiful attendees. Please come wrap your arms around ours. We're moving as a team through all of these journeys, all of these awakenings, all of these ahas. We'll be able to share them with each other. You know, I always wear my intention bracelet when I'm preparing a retreat, that I gather the perfect group for a journey of spiritual ability to understand that we are energy. We are all energy, and we are not just in our little world. So we're looking for a few more beautiful, and you don't have to be brave to come here. We're not looking for brave souls. We're looking for, like you said, Mahmoud, open-minded souls that know there's something more and something larger and something more spiritual available to us.
Yes.
And also,
So
we're not a big group, so we're able to give the full attention. As me and you and Mahmoud, we're going to be doing the work, we can give the full attention to each person, you know, because we're not focusing on big, large groups. That's not our aim ever.
Right. Right. Well, if you have the calling, if you're noticing, oh my gosh, Egypt has been calling me for a while now, and here's a great opportunity, you have the three of these wonderful leaders to bring you along this immaculate land, immaculate traditions and culture. So of course, we will provide you with all of the links, but head over to intentionbeads.com to sign up. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Zefi. Thank you, Mahmoud, for coming and enjoying and talking about this Egypt retreat. We are so excited.
One additional thing, Alex, you know that I'm offering a complimentary Zoom call with anyone that would have any detailed questions or considerations that they would like to have for me. I can take them through the itinerary. I've done that for all the people that have signed up. And so I'm willing to do that for sure, to answer any questions about travel coming in. You'll fly into Cairo and fly out of Cairo. And so that, and the price is seriously, the price is very reasonable. And so you can go online and check that price out. We have single room and we have shared room, which is 2 people double. So bring your friend, bring your daughter, bring your sister, and come along and on this journey.
So thank you all for coming in and allowing me to ask you all the questions. And for anyone that is interested, of course, reach out to us, intentionbeads.com. We are happy to help out. So we're going to conclude and say goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.